With Vidal Brujan getting called up to the major leagues for the doubleheader today, I decided why not try and see how his career is going to play out on MLB The Show 21. If you're new to the channel, consider dropping a like on this video if you enjoy, and consider subscribing down below, especially if you're a Tampa Bay Rays fan. But let's get right into this video. We're going to turn GM contracts off, and then everything else is going to remain off as well. Force trades off, ignore budgets off, and we're going to just get right into things. We're gonna turn everything on manual just so they don't do anything stupid like trade him for absolutely nothing. So I called Brujan up on July 7th, which is the same day as today. So it's pretty accurate. He's going to have the exact same amount of playing time as he is in real life, unless the Rays call him down eventually. We don't know. So the Rays ended the season 85-77 in third place. Not a bad season, but I don't think that's how it's going to end. But we're here for Brujan. 300 average, 20 RBIs, 6 home runs, and an 80 overall. Not bad. I hate this game so much. The Rays traded Brujan to the Athletics during the offseason. What? I should have turned CPU trading off, or just turned it down, or I don't even know what the Rays are doing in this trade. A 4.8 ERA. Well, I guess we're going to be following the Athletics a lot. The Rays got Mike Clevenger. Wow, okay, that's interesting. The Rays are making some interesting moves during the offseason, but what just happened? So the Oakland A's are 42-49. We're going to take a look at how they're doing. Yeah, the Rays are in last place. I don't know what the CPU did, but we're just going to ignore that and hope Brujan is doing good on his brand new team. Let's take a look. So currently he's hitting 256. He's at 81 overall, 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, and 312 at-bats. Not a bad season so far. We're only at the All-Star break. Honestly, not bad. So I guess he was called down for whatever reason. He had a pretty solid season. 14 home runs, 50 RBIs, 5 triples, 34 doubles, 144 hits in 563 at-bats, only 119 strikeouts, 19 stolen bases, 256 average, on-base percentage of 320, 409 slugging, and on-base plus slugging 729. And you can take a look at all rest of his stats. Even fielding percentage was pretty high. I mean, honestly, not a bad season. For his first full season, this isn't the worst, but I just don't understand why they sent him down. That's weird. Even better year for Brujan, up to at 86 overall. He had 32 doubles versus 34, so less doubles, 1 less triple, but he had 4 more home runs and 13 more RBIs, so not a bad season. He had 20 stolen bases this year, less caught stealing, a 240 average, so the average is a little bit lower. On-base percentage is a tiny bit lower, slugging barely lower. So overall, some of his stats are just a little bit under last year, but overall, his performance was pretty solid. 6 less hits as well, but like I said, overall, his performance was really solid, especially for his second year in the MLB. Another outstanding year, one of his best years, 88 overall. He had 9 triples. Wow. 23 home runs, 79 RBIs, and he had 13 stolen bases, so a little bit lower than last year, but overall, already his stats are looking really good. His best average year since his first year was Tampa Bay. He had a 342 on-base percentage, one of his best seasons since his first year was the Rays. Slugging is up, on-base plus slugging is up as well, and everything else overall. He had a really solid year, and you can see his walks are really up there because he's really hitting the ball now. So the Oakland A's are in the playoffs. They beat the Houston Astros to win the division, and now they're taking on the Minnesota Twins. So Brujan made the playoffs, and it looks like they're moving on against the Red Sox for the World Series, and they make it. Brujan is in the World Series. I am so excited to see how he does in the playoffs, and the Rockies defeat the A's in the World Series. That is a pretty tough World Series, getting swept after doing so good in the playoffs. That's painful. But let's go ahead and see how Brujan did in the playoffs. So in the playoffs, he didn't really do that good. 231 average and 3 RBIs in 52 at-bats. Not the best postseason, but let's go ahead and get into season 4. The Oakland A's and the Rays play each other this year, so I decided why not show this one. And the Rays actually defeat the A's. We'll go ahead and quickly take a look at how he is doing. So I did sim a couple more years. I don't remember where I left off, but he's had a very solid career. Already 120 home runs, 435 RBIs in just 6 years. Not a bad career. Almost 100 career stolen bases, a 261 career average, 325 on base percentage, 432 slugging, and on base plus slugging of 757. For fielding percentage, his career is 983. Not a bad career so far. I didn't even notice this, but Brujan got traded to the Phillies from the A's. So we are following the Phillies now in 2031. But let's go ahead and go over to the Phillies and see how he did. So in 2029, he had a career year, a really good year. And then the next year, he did pretty decent. So this year with the Phillies and the A's, he hit 28 doubles, 2 triples, 25 homers, 93 RBIs, had 59 walks, 133 strikeouts, 15 stolen bases, and a 241 average. Not a bad season, and his fielding percentage every year is over 900, almost 1,000 a couple years. But yeah, so far he's having a great year, 10 years in the major leagues, and he is declining now, which I don't agree with. He's 31, so it really shouldn't decline. But we will see how he does, and we will see if he wins any awards this year. He hasn't won any yet. So as I was skipping free agency, he actually signed with the San Francisco Giants for a 2-year deal. He's currently 33 years old, 11 years in the major leagues. So let's see how he does with the Giants, and the rest of his career probably going to keep on simming and coming back if he makes the playoffs, win any awards, and if he signs with any other teams or gets traded. Well, that was very quick. He has been traded to the Kansas City Royals. This is how his season played out. He has still more contract space with the Royals. He's definitely changing teams very often since 2030. He's been on like 3 or 4 new teams since 2030, and he's declining a lot. So he's probably retiring, I'd say in the next 7 years, but probably more like in the next 2 or 3. And yeah, we'll just keep on following him. Well, the Kansas City Royals made the World Series and they lost. Let's take a look at how Brujan did. I believe this is for the entire playoffs. He's down to his 71 overall, 250 average, 1 homer, 1 RBI, 40 at-bats. That's a tough season. Last year, he did pretty good with KC. This year, almost the same, less RBIs. He's declining a lot. After 14 years in the major leagues, Vidal Brujan has finally retired because of age. He is 41 years old. 44 overall. He hasn't played since 2035. Let's take a look at his career stats though. 305 home runs, 1,071 RBIs. He has 452 doubles, 66 triples, and a career number of 2,000 plus hits. Pretty good career. His average for his career is 262. Even in his last year, his average was pretty solid. On base percentage of 322, 444 slugging, and his career fielding percentage was 980. Looks like 986 was his best career fielding percentage year. And also he had a stolen base number of 200, 1900 strikeouts, and 690 walks. Did he make the Hall of Fame though? He did not. That sucks. He had a good career though, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you drop a like down below and consider subscribing as well, especially if you're a Rays fan, because I post a lot about the Rays. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video.